Welcome in or welcome back to the Veiled Archive. Now, I know generally we have a couple days between videos and whatnot, but I try to have some filler or something in there just as a short, a next up. And it's kind of what this is. But this week is all about doing some ARC reading. Two books, in fact. Started Monday and wrapping them both up today and tomorrow. I'll get to this a little bit more at the end of this video too, but it's just one of the huge things that any of us can do to help out the indie community. Um, and lots of people do ask for the ARC reads because there, I bring this up in videos from time to time, and I think I do need to be a little more vocal about that. That the reviews themselves are critical for the authors, for the books. Um, getting views and eyes on them. And one of the best ways to do that is to hit the ground running when your book releases with, a couple different uh, advanced reader reviews to already have displayed. Um, it really does increase the metrics for the authors that offer that opportunity to other people to read their stuff. But it's a give and take because it's also an opportunity for them to, like I said, already have those reviews in hand. So that's been this week so far, and I'm really looking forward to that. Um, but without further ado, let's get into this next up video. The calendar says March 2026, but the archive is a living thing, an unbroken chain that refuses to be bound by the clock. To understand the systemic voids of the present, we must first perform a historical recovery of the visceral remnants of the past. Next on the ledger, Blood in the Dark by Tucker Joneson. Released in the 2024 Strata, this isn't a singular breach. It is a 13-chambered laboratory designed to test the limits of your somatic perimeter. Joneson maps the creatures in the shadows with a jagged, relentless precision. You'll find vampires in the suffocating weight of dark caverns and werewolves haunting the dust of the Old West. In the namesake title story, the nightmare begins on Halloween night. We follow a subject named Edgar down a deserted street where the eeriness has transitioned from rumor to an undeniable fact. He enters a normal house only to find the floorboards replaced by raw, cold dirt. Before he can breathe, the house performs its trick, a hole in the center of the living room, an inescapable depth leading into a subterranean journey where the only light is the memory of the world above. Prepare yourselves. There are creatures in the shadows, and there is blood in the dark. But as we shift the frequency to the new blood of the 2026 index, the biological predator gives way to a much older, colder finality. We begin our excavation of Seasons of Ash by John Michael Layne. This debut moves the archive into the territory of a world already unmade, a world that didn't end in a fire, but in the suffocating silence of ash. This is systemic noir. When a catastrophic volcanic eruption darkens the sky and chokes the global supply lines, the self is stripped of its luxuries and forced into the raw mechanics of endurance. Here, survival is not measured in dramatic shootouts, but in the small, difficult choices made when the sun no longer burns bright enough to warm the earth. We follow two fractured paths. Matt Anderson, a major in the Marines, trekking across a broken country with a stray dog as his only ally. And back in the mountains of West Virginia, his wife Laura, navigating a social collapse and the emergence of Gideon Crow, a preacher who acts as a systemic demagogue using fear to reorganize the ruins. The lights have gone out. Winter refuses to end. In the 2026 index, the only question that matters is, what are you willing to sacrifice to stay human? The archive is open. The math is adding up to 0. I did want to circle back real quick just to the review economy in general. It's going to come from a lot of different sources, and both of the ARC reads that I did this week were from contacts off of TikTok, um, there's a lot. uh, The indie community is vibrant there, especially now, and it engage with it like seriously. Um, there's constantly people going live, lots of questions that get answered, which I think is huge. I mean, for all of us, in the indie sphere, um, we don't even know what questions to ask a lot of times. It's just engaging and networking. And for me, that was kind of difficult at first. I am an introvert through and through, so I mean, just reaching out to ask a question or to reach out to an author to let them know that a review video was coming was difficult initially. It does get easier, but every person that I've talked to has just um, been amazingly upfront, very, very helpful. I can't stress that enough. Um, but yeah, there's so many different ways that I could take just this part of the video, but I think what I will do is try to make a more concerted effort to stress the importance of reviews themselves, um, not just in the work that we are doing here on the channel, but I mean overall. And if people are asking in groups or whatnot in your social circles for beta readers, for example, that stage in the process is vital for a lot of authors. I mean, just take them up on it, give it a read. Um, they're looking for your insight in situations like that. And like we said at the beginning of this video with ARC reads, those are vital once the story's already been out there, compiled and structured and ready for publishing. Having those ARC reviews ready once the book releases uh, really helps the algorithms on the various platforms that sell the books push the books. So if somebody's asking for ARC readers, take them up on it. It's one of the best things that you can do to help them out. Um, and there's so many different things, I mean, that we could get into. There's just lots of different ways that we as a community can support each other. And I've been the beneficiary of some insanely awesome help. And more importantly, I think advice. Like I said, we don't know what questions to ask until we're confronted with the problem. But a lot of times we don't even know what the problem is. Um, so I know usually it asks for the like and subscribe, and I'd appreciate that. But if you have any questions that I could possibly answer, or even if I can't, just throw them down in the comments. You know, as in whatever is on your mind. As far as indie authoring, indie writing, um, specifically indie publishing, because and even I'm learning new stuff every day. So, and the people are out there and they're more than willing to help. So if I don't have your answer, I can definitely find somebody that will. Um, yeah, feel free. I'm here and I love answering comments. So fire away. But until next time, this is the Veiled Archive.